Hello, everybody. Hello. We're back again. I just saw you guys last night. We're getting very cozy around here. Actually, I'm trying very hard to be a little bit more consistent. There's a lot going on. We have a lot of amazing things in the works. So it's been a little bit harder, but I'm here and I am showing up and I'm glad you are here. Thank you for being here. Hey, Melody, she jumped into the room very early. So great to see you. So today I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about insurance. Not just any insurance, we're going to be talking about candle insurance. So I think Brian may have got caught up on another phone call because he's usually very, very punctual. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to tell you guys what I learned from Brian. And then we'll get him back on to do a Q&A. But then you'll also still be able to reach out to him to secure your insurance. So for the past few weeks, I've been shopping around for new insurance. I just want to see what's going on out there, see if things change, see if I can get some better rates, add some things to my insurance, because covering yourself as a business owner is super, super important, you guys, especially if you're making candles. Why? We're literally selling people fire. But before I get started, I want to take a moment, introduce myself. If you do not know, my name is Jasmine, founder and CEO, visionary, whatever you would like to call it, of Black Sunflower. Started off as a candle company, but has now become so much more. With the Black Sunflower Business Collective, I am here to help you achieve your dreams and change your business into more than just a business, you guys. We're in here to change your business into a successful business. Okay. So with that being said, as you guys come in the room, I hope that you guys today will take heed, because I know insurance is one of those things where it can be a little overwhelming. You're not sure what to look for. You're not sure exactly what's needed. A lot of people are not even sure where to start, because that's the main question I get. Like, where do I even go for insurance? I don't know where to get candle insurance at. And I'm going to be honest with you, over the years, it's getting a lot more difficult to get candle insurance because there are a lot more claims. One of the things there are more claims is because a lot of people there's more people making candles. With more people making candles, there are more incidents. And with that, insurance, they mitigate risk. That's their whole job, is to mitigate risk. And a lot of that risk is based upon the legitimacy of not only your business, your structure, what you're doing. So that's why it's very important to make sure you have the proper things in place. They want to make sure you have a business license, an LLC. And there are a few more things that I'm going to share with you that not only I kind of knew before, but I learned a lot from Brian when I talked to him. We had about a 2.5 hour conversation. It didn't take that long to get the insurance. It only took not even 30 minutes to get through the entire policy and pay and all that. But at the end, we just had a lot of great conversation and I learned a lot of great things. So feel free to put your questions in the comments. I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. Like I said, I think Brian got caught up on another phone call because he is very thorough. And that's one of the things I loved about Brian, is he was very thorough. They work in a way, I don't know if you guys talked to people before, when they're just trying to get you the answers and get you off the phone. He is really there to educate. I don't know if anybody had the ability or opportunity yet to talk to Dan from GoDaddy. Dan actually helps people within the collective secure their domains, secure their business email addresses, things like that. And he is very thorough as well. I'm just going to get started from the top. When it comes to candle insurance, what are you actually covering? You're not only just covering the process of you manufacturing the candles, you're also covering you selling these and placing them in people's homes. I'm gonna tread lightly because I know enough, but not too much. So I want to make sure that I don't give you guys any wrong information. So I'm going to give you what I know as truth, and we will get the answers from Brian later. Okay. You have your general liability. We're just covering the general things. You have where you can cover your protect your property. So if you have property on hand, a lot of times if you use your vehicle for traveling back and forth, and let's say you carry a lot of products in your car, that's something else that you may want to cover. But I'm going to go back to what I do know. I do know what it takes to get candle insurance. And to get candle insurance, a lot of people think that, I can just call up, get insurance, and I'll be good. I'm going to tell you guys a secret right here. One of these things that people don't realize is that not only the insurance agents, but the underwriters can see everything. They can see everything. They have ways of looking up stuff that you don't even know they can have access to. Why? Because it's important for them to mitigate their risk. And a lot of people, let's be honest, they lie. I'm gonna tell you a really funny thing is I was on the phone with Brian and he was just going over everything that I had, my products. He said, okay, you have candles. Okay, cool. And then he's like, oh, well, do you sell anything else? And I said, yeah, I sell something else because I completely forgot, right? But then when I'm was shopping around for insurance again, one of the big issues that I had were my body oil. A lot of companies are very wary about covering body products because once again, it's not really regulated and you're putting something on people's skin, okay? And so there are a lot of companies that will not cover it or they'll charge more to cover it. And so I huffed and I said, yeah, I have body oil. And he's like, oh, this honey body oil. I'm like, Brian, you're on my website right now. You know what I had. I was like, why are you asking me? He's like, hey, got to check, right? And it's something that they do. So a lot of times when they're asking you these questions, they actually already know their answer. The answer, they're just seeing if you're going to tell them the truth. So don't go into there thinking you're going to slide by, skate by, because they can look things up. But on the other hand, some of you may be like, okay, well, I just don't have a website. Wrong. So I'm not sure, you probably didn't because the video hasn't been up, but a long time ago, I made a video about getting business loans. And one of the reasons I was able to get quite hefty loans in the beginning part of my business is because I had a digital presence. So I was able to show the underwriters, once again, that I am a legitimate business. I have things set up and I have a digital presence. I have a bunch of different articles and my social media, things like that. I'm not saying you have to have thousands of followers or things like that, but just showing that you are a consistent business makes a difference rather than, hey, DM me to buy XYZ, right? So by having a digital presence, it actually makes it easier for you to get insurance, as well as we're going to go back to the trademark as well. So there's a lot of things, since the internet is so prominent nowadays, they are looking for everything to distinguish you from somebody just making candles as a hobby. So you have to present yourself as such, as this business. So having a website, and I'm not saying the website has to be big, extravagant, and just all the way complete. They want to be making it easier for them to see and identify what you actually have going on will make things simpler on your end. They'll also ask you a lot of questions as to where it comes to revenue and like what you expect to make. And I would be 100% honest with you. You want to be very, reserved when it comes to that. So I know we have big dreams and aspirations. We always talk manifestation. I'm going to make all this money, but that actually will raise your rates. You want to make sure that you're being very conservative when you're dressing them. So if somebody says, oh, how much do you think you're going to make in the next 12 months? Okay. Give them a very conservative number, realistic, but conservative, right? Because that's going to really affect what you get back in return. What's something else that he said was really good? He also said he told me a story of a guy that called him that he's been working with. And this gentleman was trying to get, yes, I'm going to give you guys actually a form to fill out. So if you guys want to talk to him about insurance, he'll contact you and you guys can have all the chats in the world about each specific situation that you have. But I just kind of want to prepare you because, and not even just for Brian. And one nice thing, Brian works for USAA, but he has been in the industry, I think he said 8 years or something like that. He's been in the industry for a very long time. And he has the ability, if you don't qualify for USAA, he can actually shop out with other insurance agencies and get you written up right there. There are other people that I shop for, and let me tell you, okay, I had one insurance company was like, I need you to take a picture of every label of everything and list every ingredient. I need every XYZ. I said, I don't have the time. See you later. Because I've had insurance forever. I was like, I've never had to do this before. Click, hang up. Brian made it super, super simple. So what are some other things that you can do to make getting insurance easier for you? Some of the questions that he'll ask you are, what's your legal name and what's your DBA? So for example, my legal name is Black Sunflower LLC. So when you're getting insurance or they ask you that question, that's how you want to answer it. It's whatever you put on when you actually formatted your business. Yeah, your business formation is mine is Black Sunflower LLC. But I do business as Black Sunflower and Black Sunflower Business Collective. And this is actually a really good point here. A lot of us as dreamers, as entrepreneurs, as creatives, we have a lot of different things going on. Just look at me, you guys, I have a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes that can actually hinder you when it comes to getting insurance. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's hard for them to mitigate the risk when you have multiple things going on at once. They're going to ask you, okay, well, is it 50-50? Are you doing 75? Whatever, like how much of what particular part of the business and what you're doing is making the most money? What's most active? One of the things that really saved me with being able to get insurance for the collective as well as Black Sunflower My Candles is that I am actually teaching. It's kind of in the same realm. So it's in the same wheelhouse. So it's easier for him to shop that. Now, let's say you're making candles and you're making ham sandwiches. I don't know. I think I said ham sandwiches because Logan said it last night. I don't even eat ham, but two completely different things, two completely different fields, right? They have nothing to do with each other. They have completely different risks. The chances of them covering you for that is very minimal. And I'm going to tell you this. If you tell them that, okay, there's a chance that they still might not be able to cover you or charge you more, because even though you say, okay, well, let's just focus on the candles, they still know you're over here making ham sandwiches, right? So you're still a risk to at some point. Now, they're not going to cover you for that, but they know, hey, this person is dabbling in a couple of different areas. Like, let's keep an eye. And you may be like, oh, they might not know. They might not find out. They can find out things. I digress for just a second, but he was telling me a story about a gentleman who wanted to get insurance or do something. I don't remember the exact details, right? But he was like, hey, Brian, can you help me out? Like, how can you, they wouldn't give me insurance. I think it's something like he couldn't be on another business. I think that's what it was. The guy couldn't be on another business. But then when the other underwriters got a hold of it, they found his name plastered all over a different business. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just a partner in that, XYZ, so on and so forth. He's like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. He's like, well, how did they find it? He's like, they can find everything. Okay. Another question that they're going to ask is the number of owners. How many people own your business? Okay. And they're going to want the information on all of the owners within the business because they need to look these people up as well. We talked about your projected annual revenue. You need your EIN or your tax ID number. If you have not got an EIN or a tax ID number, you need to get that. How you get that? Through the IRS. It's completely free, but go online. Make sure you get your LLC, okay? And as a candle maker, we don't need no sole proprietorships out here because all of the liability will still lie on you. If something happens, the liability is on you. That car, that house, your investments, all of that can be taken. Okay, so you need to make sure you protect your assets. Okay, LLC, from the LLC business license, get your EIN. These are the things that you're going to need in order to get candle insurance or just insurance in general for your business. Okay, you need, if you're just starting out and you don't really have anything to show for your business, they're going to ask you how long have you been in this industry? Are you familiar with it? If you tell them I just started making candles yesterday, they're like, okay, well, I don't know. Let's see. Why? Because you are new to this. All right. You're new to this. Some of the ways that you can help yourself, right? Have a resume. If you don't have a background that has anything to do with candles, the other ways that you can kind of help yourself move along, I'm going to start teaching it more and I'm going to share the information. But did you guys know you can get your candles actually tested? They have the ASTM standards for candle safety. Even though the candle industry is not regulated, there are standards that candle makers should go by. Am I certified? No, I have not, but that's actually something I'm looking into. I mentioned it in another class. I kind of want to go through the process so I can actually explain it to you properly. I'm a big advocate for staying in my lane, and I'll introduce you guys to it. You're more than welcome to try it on your own, but I really can't answer the questions right now for that because I haven't tried it myself, right? Yes, I will definitely, I'll post it in the collective. It's called C Laboratories Inventories. I'll put it in the collective so you guys can get that information. But I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet, but I've been able to go this far. And that's why it's very important to make sure that you are making your candles properly, that you're testing your candles properly. There are a lot of people within this particular conversation. I was not asked about, or in depth, I was asked if I have processes. Yes. Do I have safety and testing standards and process? Yes. I've had other people who wanted to actually see and wanted to know step by step what my processes are. So those are some things to keep in mind. Make sure you're testing. Make sure you're keeping these this documentation, and also keeping this documentation. Heaven forbid anything happened, you actually have something to show. So you can sit there and lie all day and say, yes, I have it. But then in the event that something happens and now you have to go back and pull these records, you're looking like Boo Boo the Fool, okay? It's the point of protecting ourselves. Candles, yes, it sounds fun. It sounds easy. But there's a great responsibility that comes with that on the back end. That's why in my classes, the candle making master classes, we don't just teach you how to make candles. We teach you how to test candles, what to test for, and how to make candles safely. I've been making candles. Granted, there are people out there who have made candles a lot longer than me. The amount of candles that I've made, the sheer number of amount of candles I made, that I can light a candle and instantly tell you what is wrong with that candle, how to fix that candle. And there's quite a few times I've done consultations online. As soon as somebody picks up the candle and shows it to me, I'm like, nope, that's what's wrong. This is what you need to do. I even, you know what, even when I watch TikTok, and I watch some people showing their candles and how they're making their candles, and the biggest one that gets me every time, and it just irks my soul, and I know you guys have seen it, is they'll make the candles, they'll pour the wax, let the wax slightly melt, and then they stick the wooden wick in there. If I tell you, if you don't know what's wrong with that, I'll tell you right now, once that wax starts to melt and it gets down to the bottom of the candle, even about this high, if this amount of wax was melted, that wick is going to start to move. And where's that wick going to move to? It's going to move to the side of the glass. And it moves to the side of the glass. You have direct heat on the side of the glass. That's an issue. That's an issue. So making sure that you're doing things right. Do you have a business plan? Do you have a business plan? And I'm not saying the business plan has to be extremely long, extremely extensive, but they need to know you have a general idea of where you're at, what you're planning, and where you're going. Okay. So if you don't have this long history of making candles, they just want to see that you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's, that you are really focused on where you need to go and the proper ways to get there. Okay. And even if you have a LinkedIn, he actually mentioned a LinkedIn would actually be good as well. If you have a LinkedIn, because that's something they're going to look at. So the more information you can give them in order to help make the decision, the better chance of, one, not only them covering you, but also a better chance of you getting insurance. Trying to think, is there anything else? Feel free to ask questions, you guys. If anyone's just joining us, Brian got caught up on another phone call, but you guys will all be able to connect with him. I'm going to put that link in the collective as well. If you're watching this from YouTube, just go to blacksunflowerbusinesscollective.com. You can join the collective. It's a free community. And from there, you're able to reach out to Brian directly, and he will be able to help you so you can have your individual questions answered. So even if you're not ready to get insurance right now and you just want to make sure that you are ready to make it happen, he can help you. He is very, very, what was I say? He's very thorough. Do they do credit checks? I think they do credit checks on the background on some of them. This one, I think he looked more at my business stuff. I'm trying to, yes. Did I give him my social? Honestly, can't remember. I don't remember. You know what? That's a good question. I know they definitely look you up, like the same stuff that they look up for, like when you're getting car insurance and stuff. And I know they look at like your driving history, your record. I don't even know the system that they use, but the fact that he's telling me that underwriters can find everything, they have their ways. And I'm pretty sure it probably has to do with like your EIN and all that stuff is connected, you guys. All that stuff is connected. So like I said, lying to them is not going to get you anywhere. They'll find out, and they will cut your insurance if they find out. Okay. I'm trying to think the other thing, anything else that I want to add to that. That's all I really know for now. Like I said, this is not my lane. I'm just sharing with you guys what I know. I know they can cover things now like cybersecurity. If like something happens with your website or information, on the average person, if you're using a like a Shopify or even the Black Sunflower e-commerce solutions, anything like that, those are already backed. So, and we're not taking like really private information, and usually we're using a payment processor that uses those. Another thing that you can get covered, which usually doesn't cost as much, is business is it business income, business recovery income. I don't remember the exact terminology for it, but let's say you did file a claim, or let's say there was an incident and all your property got damaged, right? Or something happened where you weren't able to actually run your business, okay? Or something, heaven forbid, something burned down. You still have bills to pay. You still have rent to pay. You still have utilities to pay, all this stuff for your business. But where are you getting the income from if you're in the rebuilding phase of your business? So a lot of times insurance, and it doesn't cost much more. They'll ask you generally like approximately how much, based upon your total revenue, they will pay you based upon not your damages. You will get a supplementary income. It's like loss of income. Like I said, I don't know the terminology. This is my thing, you guys. But that is something else that you can get, which is pretty nice. You can cover all your property. This is another reason why it's good to keep inventory. One of the things I just started dabbling in again is Inventura. I've heard about it for a really long time. I never really used it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had a very prehistoric way of keeping track of my inventory. We're not even going to talk about it. Do you need insurance where you are making candles at all? Like in your home, yes, you want to make sure you have it covered. That's if you're making candles in your home, you definitely need to have it covered. Do you need insurance when you're teaching a class? Do you need it? No. Do I have it? Yes. One, I'm teaching people how to make candles. I never want somebody to come back and say, well, Jasmine told me this XYZ. I'm like, yes, but you hear the rules. Did you follow my ideas to the T? So yeah, no. Do you need it? No, you don't need it. But I rather be safe than sorry. That's how I roll. Even when it goes down to what's the difference between giving stuff away and selling stuff. I didn't get too deep in that with Brian, but he did kind of graze over the fact that there is a difference. So I'm not going to actually like state it right now because I don't know for sure. But when you guys connect with him, definitely ask him, because I know a lot of us are testing out candles, things like that. And what's the difference or what's the liability between me giving out candles to test versus me selling the candles? Because I definitely know there's a difference in that. And that's why even in my classes and in the workbook, if you guys did the candle business made simple beginner workbook, whatever, the 30 lesson one, and there nowhere do I actually say, hey, now give out your candles to test them out. Main reason is because I want to mitigate the risk on your end as well. And I don't want people like, well, Jasmine told me to give out these candles or sell these candles and I don't have insurance yet. Because in that book, that workbook, you honestly shouldn't even be at that part where you're worrying about your business license and things like that. And so this is, like I said, a lot to prepare. A lot of you may not even be in the position right now to get that, but it's something that you need to think about. And then also know what you should be doing, like selling or giving them out, and what you should not be doing. And it's really crucial because I think a lot of times we take it so lightly. And it's not talked about as much. And not only not talked about as much, I think it becomes overwhelming. I don't know about you, but when something becomes a little too overwhelming, I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it later. And you guys don't want later to get too far ahead of you. If you're at these markets selling candles, you need insurance. If you are offering up these candles in any way, shape, or form, you need insurance, you guys. It's very, very important. I can't stress that any further. One of the biggest mistakes I made, and it's because I didn't know any better, is when I first started selling candles, like my first show, I didn't have insurance because I didn't really know. Yes, it's inside the collective. So go inside the collective, and it's at the top in the learning tab. Also, I want to give an update that I have been receiving information. You guys have been telling me that you guys are not able to access the academy or any of the other courses. You may have received emails stating that there are new courses. I forgot to turn off the notifications. The team's in the back end working on that. I'm hoping to have that all up and fixed by Thursday, so you'll be able to access the academy from inside the collective. You'll be able to access all your courses. That workbook is there. The workbook is the one that's there. Okay. And then when you click on it, there's the PDF is in there as well. But it's a really, really good workbook. Even if you have been in business for a while, it's really great to go back and get a refresher. If you're a real retailer and not a maker, what's your advice? That's a good one. And actually, you hit on another point. I still say insure yourself, because you can't be 100% sure that that candle maker is insured. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you with that, because I know quite a few who are not insured, who are wholesaling or in different places and buildings. And that's another thing, you guys, that you're expanding your risk even more. Like if you're wholesaling or you're putting your candles out there to people, it's important. So when you're talking to them, there is a difference. You can just distribute candles. So if you're talking to them and they're like, hey, I don't actually make the candles, I just sell the candles, there is a different type of insurance, and you can actually reduce your rates, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit with that. But for majority of people here, you're manufacturing and you're selling the candle. So that's a really good point. You couldn't get in either yesterday. Yep. Okay. I'm working on that for you guys. I'm hoping to have it done by Thursday, hoping to have it sooner, but I'm trying to give myself a little grace and time so I'm not stressed out saying, oh, I promised them I'm going to get it done today. So I would love to get it done sooner, but we are actively working on making sure you guys can all get access to that. What is another thing? Daryl, you triggered something else and it just came and went. And I don't remember what it is. Don't know what happened to it. It disappeared. Throw in, I guess I'll throw in right now, the candle making masterclass. If you guys have not joined it, if you have not signed up for it, the $99 masterclass it ends March 1st. So after March 1st, it will no longer be $99. I will make a post on Instagram today. I'll also send out an email letting people know when it's time to sign up for it. I'm just making sure things are adjusted in the back end. What about shipping insurance? Okay, that's completely different. So shipping insurance will actually be handled usually through the carriers or whatever shipping platform that you use. And that's more so if something is damaged during shipping. So if your package gets damaged or lost, the carrier or whatever insurance provider the carrier has will then cover it. It usually costs just a few dollars here and there. And some people might be wondering, okay, what does insurance actually cost? We didn't even talk about that. I think when I was bringing home, I want to say bringing home. Let's correct that. When Black Sunflower was generating, because they were a lot expensive, I was not bringing home all that money, right? And we're actually going to talk about that in another time, because there is a huge misconception between what a business generates and what the owner actually has. Okay, we're going to get to that conversation later. But when Black Sunflower was like at its height and its hiatus, and no, we're still going. We're still trekking up. Let me fix my words. My insurance was, I think it was for me, I think it was like $95 a month or something like that. It wasn't a lot, but it was a lot of money that was coming out, a lot. So on average, you guys can get candle insurance for maybe $25, $30. It's not a lot, you guys. I know it's also something that seems big and scary, especially because we're used to like car insurance and things like that. It's not the same. So saying I can't afford candle insurance is one of the first things you can't afford. Like if you can't afford anything else, you need to make sure you can afford candle insurance. That is a main requirement. Point blank, period. No ifs, ands, or buts, no excuses. Instead of buying that Netflix subscription, right, or whatever, you better cancel that and make sure you have your candle insurance. I don't think there's anything else. I think we've covered quite a bit within this. I like this little 9 a.m. I didn't know how many people would be in here. I think this is a good slot. I like that we're honestly continuously. We've had a webinar just about every day. I am going to add the rest. Oops, let me fix this real quick. I am going to add, hold on, the rest of the webinars in the collective. I said I was going to do it all by this weekend, but I completely apologize. One good thing I will have to say is that today I'm meeting with the team and we are going to make sure we get everything out to you. Well, this is lunch for me, so it's great. That's what I was thinking. So what do we have coming up next? Thursday, I have Candle Making 101. If you guys have not signed up for that, you're kind of late for that one, but we'll catch the next one. The next one will be March 13th. That's the one I'm going to post and send you out. That's the next one. That's $99. It covers everything. Testing the candles, making the candles, like we go in depth on that. On Sunday, we have two things. We have a photo talk with Christina. So Christina's our resident photographer. Christina's been my photographer since I was training. So that's my love. I love her so much. But she's going to be talking about photos. How do you make photos affordably? How do you use what you already have on hand to make your photos pop? What tools and resources that you can use? And you can basically just ask her questions, because this particular webinar is more of her wanting to know what you guys actually need. So she wants to develop some things for you guys, but it's really important. And I'm sharing with all the partners, and it's something that I've done before, and you guys as well. Before you create anything, see what the people actually need. What do the people actually need? So please show up for Christina. If you want to make sure that things are created that will help you, you need to show up and ask the questions so that she knows what to create to actually help you. On Sunday, we also have the Achieve More Playbook Weekly Huddle with Nick. If you guys have not joined any of Nick's Weekly Huddle, so what he does, he actually goes through his process. So you guys actually get to see what he's working on every week and how he uses the Achieve More Playbook to get more time, and not only just his day, his week, his month. You guys, it changed my life. Hands down, it changed my life and how I function and how I operate and how I get things accomplished. That's the one right there. He's going to have his not his workshop, his course is going to be finished soon, but it's amazing. So just join his huddle on Sunday to get an idea, ask any questions. And when you're in there, you guys, please do not be afraid to ask questions. Then on Monday, the 17th, Dominique, the webinar that she rescheduled from this past Saturday, Business Branding 101 and the Brand Readiness Blueprint. If you guys do not show up, you guys will be missing out. When I tell you, I looked over the workbook that she had, I was like, oh, I'm about to do this workbook again. And you're like, Jasmine, why? Because there's always room for improvement. There's always room to refine. I love to go back and revisit what I have going on. What message am I putting out? Because that's how you get better. It's never a one and done type thing. So make you show up there. On the 20th, Tim Johnson, one half of Tamandy, First Impressions, show your best to the world. How does your website show up? How is your branding showing up to the world? So he is really a key component in our website development side of things and making websites beautiful and pretty so that they stand out to the world. And then the other half of Tamandy will be on the 22nd, Unlocking Your Strength, Vision, and Purpose. If you guys want a word, okay, let me answer both of these questions. First, Latoya, do I put disclaimers in my policy? So yes, I do have like a terms and conditions and privacy policy. Be more specific on which disclaimers and which policies you're talking about so I can make sure I answer that correctly. And then Melody, the First Impressions one, which class were you talking about? The First Impressions or the branding? The branding is on Monday the 17th. That one is in the collective. So all of these, I'm going to put the rest of these in the collective today, I promise. Okay. So you guys will be able to see the entire calendar out in the collective. The branding one is on the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for that one. Mandy is Unlocking Your Strength and Purpose. Mandy, speak a word into you. When I tell you the inspiration that she has, the inspiration that she gives, if you just need that extra little push and that little bit more to believe in yourself, definitely be there. Next Sunday, again, we have the Achieve More Huddle Playbook. And then there we go. That's it for the rest of February. We will be getting the March schedule out very soon. I already have the Candle Making Masterclass. March 9th will be the Candle Business Success class. But with that package, you can take unlimited masterclasses for the rest of 2025. And then March the 13th would be the Candle Making 101 again. And then I think I'm gonna do a tax class next month, bookkeeping, because I think that's very important. And I think I have some other things in the works as well. So make sure you're in the collective, checking out that event schedule. Today, what we're working to do is make it a little bit easier to read and understand the event schedule. We'll add some color coding in there. So if you want a marketing class, you know, the marketing classes are this color. If you want I don't know, a business strategy class, that's a different color. So everything's a work in progress, you guys. Thank you for sticking through with us. If you like what you see now, just wait. And if there's some things that need a little bit of fixing, let us know, because we don't know these things unless you tell us. I will be posting as well a feedback form where you guys can actually go in and not only give your feedback or suggestions, where you can actually see what's in the works and what we're working on. And if you see a suggestion that somebody else has put up, you give that a thumbs up because it's something that you want to. So it lets us know this is something that you guys want. It's very, very important. Do a tax class? Okay, I'm going to look to bring in a tax professional. One of the things I was actually going to talk about, I'm going to start being a little more vulnerable with you guys, is that I'm going to talk about some of my big tax mistakes. Some of the things that I did and did not do that I paid for and paying for now. Because this collective is really about, I don't want people to go through a lot of the stuff that I went through. Because trying to find the answers, trying to find the resource, trying to find the people who just aren't trying to make a bag off of you, that's hard, you guys. And I get it. I get it. Like, I'm out here just trying to make it. People want to gatekeep. But then within that gatekeeping, they want to charge you an arm, leg, and a foot, and a kidney just to get this much of information, right? Like, oh, you know, I actually probably could have Googled this, or this is something I actually read someplace else. That's not what we do over here, okay? Granted, we need money to survive. I have got bills to pay, but I'm going to try my best to do things in a way that not only upholds my expertise and my knowledge, but you know, it's kind of counterintuitive. So hear me, people who work with me, you're not supposed to count people's pockets when creating things. You need to really charge the value and the worth. But my mission and my vision and my purpose is also greater than that. And so I'm always do my best to keep things within line. And if for any reason, something I offer, you're like, dang, Jasmine, I really want that, or I really want to do that, but XYZ, reach out, you guys, reach out. There are always ways. There's nothing is black and white. Okay. Nothing's always black and white. Even with the master classes. So right now we have the $99 one. And let's say you wanted to do the business success master class, but you can't afford it right now. That $99 will go towards, it will credit towards that, you guys. And then when it's going up to its regular price of $299, because I'm gonna give you guys here, listen here, the $99 masterclass. I'm extending this class a lot longer than it needs to be, but we're gonna have this conversation now. I almost make no money off of that. I make like no money off the $99 masterclass. Why? Because I understand what it's like to want the knowledge, to be frustrated. And yeah, I know what it's like. And I know what it's like to not have the resources you need, and you're thirsty and you're hungry for it. Because with that $99 masterclass, not only do I have to pay Sierra, because you guys pay for it, I have to also pay for those kits. And people realize that. So I don't really make money off of that. So that's why I'm pushing it. That's why I'm like, you guys, this will be your last opportunity, because I have to adjust some things. But then even with that, when I move it to the $299, you still can pay it in 2 payments. I understand these things. But once again, nothing's always black and white. Reach out, and I'll do what I can. Sometimes I can do things, sometimes I can't. Part of the reason I'm stepping back a little more, you'll see me in the webinars, things like that. But it's harder to reach me, things like that, because I'm in the back end working, trying to get bigger contracts. I'm trying to get these contracts because that's how the money flows. When you get the resources from the bigger companies that have it, that's how you can flow it into resources like this. This is how I can help people. So I need to make money on the other end so that we can make things happen on this side. My transparency be too transparent sometimes, but I think it's really important that you guys understand it. That's how you think as a business owner. You have to find ways to make things happen. If my vision and my purpose is to make things more accessible, I have to find ways to still feed me and my son, right? What else do I want to add for that? I think that's it, because this was supposed to be just about insurance, right? Everyone is trying to make money. Eggs are $99. We don't have money to waste, period. We don't have. And Melody, you've been around for a long time. Melody is an OG. She took one of the first candle making master classes, actually. Yes. And so you have seen, and I think Melody could attest to, there are quite a few times that me and Melody have talked, and Melody's like, I need XYDZ, or I'm interested in XYZ. And I'm like, okay, well, here's what I can do for you. We've had that conversation quite a few times. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few people in here that I've had conversations with. What's even funnier, when I launched these last master classes, I'm going to tell you guys this. When I launched my last master classes, I contacted everyone who took master classes. Hey, TJ, long time no see, my love. I was just thinking about you yesterday. When I reached out to everyone who took master classes in the past, and I said, because I know how it is, like, you know, life happens, you started, maybe things fell off, you still want to get back into it, but I spent all this money before. I offered them the opportunity to credit whatever they spent before towards one of the new master classes. That's what I did, because I get it. I get it. I am on a journey. Send me an email. See if I can get you on the schedule, TJ, because we still have to get you set up with your mentorship sessions too. I lost my train of thought that quick. What did I just say? See, TJ, it's your fault. Now I don't want to talk to you. No. TJ's been rocking with me for a while. This past 6-7 months, right? And she's actually one of those as well that we what do you need? Let's make it happen, girl. Let's make it happen. Completely forgot what I was just gonna say there. I want to give a big shout out to somebody in the room right now. Okay, Latoya, Miss Latoya. This woman scheduled a 15-minute session with me. And this 15-minute session I sent out to people that took the masterclass, if they happen to have. Girl, you know I'm just playing with you. I love you. Everyone who took the masterclass, hey, if you have any questions, let's answer them. And she took her time, where it was supposed to be for her to answer questions. She did. This is the second time she's now done this. She spent the entire time talking about suggestions and feedback to make the collective and make everybody's experience better. And I want to thank you for that. That means a lot. One thing about business, and because I'm really striving to make this as great as I can, is I can't do it on my own. That's why I have the partners. That's why I have you guys. Like I said, I'm going to get it set up so that you guys can actually have some place to put this information, or your questions, or your suggestions, or your feedback. I also ask you guys for grace. I ask you guys for grace, as in, just know I'm out here trying to do my best. The team is trying to do their best. Everything's not going to be 100% perfect, but I just know that we're striving for best. Last night on the webinar with Logan, if you guys missed it, it's in the collective at the top. If you look at my post, the links there, you guys are able to watch it through there. And one of the things he mentioned, which I'm glad he mentioned because it's very important to me, is yourself, your family. So we have all these webinars planned, okay? All these people have lives, not only outside of the collective. Some of them have 9-to-5s. Some of them do. So they all, pretty much all of them have families, and they have themselves. So we will schedule these webinars, and we will do our best to make sure we do them and stay on time. But like I said, Dominique had something come up. Logan's was rescheduled, or Logan couldn't show up. There's a few people who couldn't show up to the partner team webinar. And that's 100% okay with me. Because in this world, we have been so defined by the corporate world that if you don't show up, or if you, heaven forbid, you take time to take care of somebody that's sick in your family, we have this weird feeling in ourselves like we're doing something wrong. And that's not how we move over here. That is not how we move at all. So if somebody happens to cancel or reschedule a webinar, give that person grace. I understand it's information you may have wanted to receive, but we have no idea what other people are going on, what other people have going on. And the things that we apologize for. I'm going to give a perfect example. One of the first times Logan reached out to me, like he was supposed to do something, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. My daughter's sick. I am so, he was like apologizing profusely. And I said, stop, Don't you ever apologize to me again about taking care of your daughter. Like, I don't want to hear it, because that's nothing to apologize for. And I think just moving through this world the way things are, we really need to give more grace to others, give more grace to ourselves, and just understand that a majority of this world is just out here doing the best that they can. Everyone's fighting their own battles. Everyone is not only fighting their own battles, a lot of people are just out here trying to survive. And the last thing you need is somebody else in your, you guys, I had the most hilarious email come through the other day. And I kind of want to share it. I think I'm going to share it with you guys in a second. But I don't know where this is coming from. Things like this happen to me all the time, where I just feel the need to share these things, and some of the stuff that's on my mind, and things that I see other people going through. I talk with a lot of people, and I've been very good at not internalizing other people's feelings, emotions, because I have a bad habit of doing that. But I really have a huge heart. I am now a recovering people pleaser. Okay. Where a lot of what you guys saw from Jasmine in the past was, talk to myself in third person, please excuse me. I did things because I like to make people happy, but sometimes that liking to make people happy was not honoring me. It was not honoring me. It was not honoring my gifts. And I had to change those things. Let me show you guys. Let me find this email real quick. And one of the things that I realize is sometimes people like to mistake kindness for weakness. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in this room who have experienced this. Somebody heard a TikTok. He said, just because I'm so laid back, people don't think I will lean forward. And this is going to actually be funny, because if this person happens to see it, is this it? Where is it? Oh, it's in the wrong inbox. Let me find it over here. Is this hitting home with anybody? You guys are so quiet. I love it. Usually when you guys get quiet like that, that means you guys are really listening. I just want to know if this resonates with anybody. Is it speaking to anybody? I think that I might have actually deleted it by accident. Yeah, I think I might have actually deleted it. I'm gonna look one more place. I think it might be in the delete. And if it's not here, it's not meant to be shared. Okay, yep, nope, I found it. All right. And so this is one of those things where, people always have an opinion. People always have something to say. And I think sometimes people mistake my kindness for weakness. And as business owners, a lot of times we feel that, oh, I need to be nice and I don't need to clap back. Well, I'm in clap back season. That's what I am. And if anybody comes to me sideways, I'm going to give it to them straight. And so somebody told me that I sent out an email, and this was for the candles. And they told me my spelling is not good. While you're selling a brand, it does not help young people. It confuses them about spelling words correctly. They were talking about BLK in black and HNY in honey. Okay. I then responded, the spelling of black sunflower, in quotations, and honey, in quotations, is intentional. It's part of our branding and marketing strategy. Successful brands break the rules all the time to stand out. If it's not for you, it's okay. But it's working just fine for us. I wasn't going to respond to that. And I know sometimes people feel that not everything needs a response. But also what I've realized by partially being a people pleaser is that this person had the gumption to come into my inbox and say the unnecessary. It was unnecessary. So if you're going to disrupt me for this much of my time and my day, I'm going to respond. I don't think it was rude. It was straight to the point. And it was honest. Sometimes I want to set a melt pot in my section at work and make candles during the week. Seriously, yeah, people need to touch grass. And I guess I say that, and it goes back to what Logan was talking about, is being authentically you, and how Logan lives in a very different area. And he did a lot of things because he tiptoed around not wanting to disrupt. And a lot of his customers were did not have the same beliefs as him. So even though he's a gay white man and living in a white town, the beliefs that he has based upon what the majority of his customer base are wasn't the same. And he treaded lightly for so long. And he finally just said, F it. I'm going to do what is right for me. And I'm not saying going out here and being rude to customers and so on and so forth, but also walking and standing in your power is important, because being an entrepreneur will test you in so many different ways. I like to say it's a spiritual journey. It is a spiritual journey of another kind. It'll teach you, or it'll have you not only dig deep into places that you didn't know exist, that you didn't know you had. It'll help you find strength that you didn't know you had. It'll help you find purpose that you didn't know you had. It'll help you find new purposes that you didn't know were even important to you. And that, is actually funny with the candles thing, where I tell the story all the time. Candles, I literally stumble on candles. I'm a businesswoman. I saw an opportunity and I made something happen. But I still reverted right back to what I love, and that's teaching. When I was in the corporate world, my dream job, and I got the dream job, you guys. I got my dream job. I was a regional training manager for a property management company. Made my way up. I didn't even start the position really. Like, I started the position, I was in the beginning, and because I kind of had to build out curriculum and things like that. And I started Black Sunflower and I left. It was my dream job. I had been in the industry for 13 years and I had a lot of really great positions, but I was able to create my own position. Like, that's huge, you guys. I created my own position. I had my own, like, whatever I said went. That was me. I got to travel. I could work remote if I wanted. It was everything. And I left it for Black Sunflower. And it was training. Before that, or even within that, I was a fitness, nutrition, and weight loss specialist for years, you guys. Years. That's what I did. That was my love. That's how I met Christina. Christina was one of my clients. And I just love education. I love teaching. Some people are like, how come you go live so well? I don't know if you remember Periscope, but I was an OG Periscoper. I was going live. I've been going live. And I love it. It's really, it's a weird, like, I feel you have to be slightly delusional to go live. No, you just have to have the confidence, you guys. And it gets easier over time. Sometimes I still get nervous when I come on, but that's neither here nor there. But it was education. I made candles. And then what did I come right back into? I came back into education. And I truly believe that if I keep using the bow ties as an example, but if I started making bow ties, actually, before I get to that, I started making candles because I wanted to be in the back. Like, I didn't want to be seen. I was overwhelmed with everything that was going on in my life. And I just want to make candles, sell them, and not have to show my face. God said, hold my tequila, girl, because he was like, no, your purpose is to educate. Your purpose is to share knowledge. And I joke around, if I was to make bow ties, he probably would have made me the queen of bow ties, because that is the purpose. And that is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be heard and I'm meant to be seen. And a lot of times I run from it because I am honestly an introvert, you guys. I have social anxiety like crazy. It may not seem like it, but I do. I have social anxiety like crazy. I'm able to mask it in certain situations and do what I need to do. But if it was up to me, I would stay right here in my house 24/7 and I would be happy with it. But it's really learning to accept the fact that, and I'm thankful. I'm so thankful, so grateful. So it's a lot of things that I have to work on internally in order to make sure I can put my best foot forward. A lot of people were, Daryl, like, you guys realize I will go ghost on social media for months. Social media exhausts me. It exhausts me. And not only just not doing the social media, but also intaking what social media does. It just is just too much for me because it's the fake, the phony. I can't. It's this world of people trying to be something that they're not. And I hate that I have to participate in it. And that's one of the reasons I have the collective, you guys. I have the collective because I'd rather like be active over here and then I'll post something here, there, over there. And I feel bad because I don't engage as much on social media as I used to. But it's more of honoring what feels good to me. And I hope you guys are taking something from this and just finding other ways to do what needs to be done. And so it was very important for me to take the people from social media and let's bring them over to a place that's more comfortable for me. I don't feel that sense of here I am trying to keep up with everybody else, because one, I've never been a follower. I am so stubborn, so far from a follower. They say go left, I'm going far right, like around the corner, like you ain't gonna find me. But depending on social media and using social media to help build my business, I learned a lot. I learned what I'm capable of doing, but I also learned that there are also ways to make things happen without really falling in line with the masses. I'm an introvert too, and people and social media are exhausting, which is a conundrum of being an entrepreneur. Yeah, it is. It is really hard. Last night, Logan mentioned some ways, and he'll be talking about this more coming forward with his webinars, but like wholesale, you guys. I mentioned I do wholesale. I do a lot of wholesale. I'm going back into it more now. I died down for a little bit. But that's a great way to actually reach the masses without having to talk to the masses. Doing wholesale, you guys, I can't call, hey, Melody, like cold call, hey, Melody, you want a candle? Hey, Latoya, you want a candle? Hey, Daryl, you want a candle? Like, hey, this is Jasmine calling from Black Sunflower, and I sell amazing. You can't do that one off from when it's going B2C, which is business to customer. But B2B, you can do that. You can call up these businesses and say, hey, my name is Jasmine with Black Sunflower. And granted, that's not how I do it. I don't call. I'm very personable because that seems fake to me as well. A lot of my wholesale, and Logan touched on this last night. Please go back into the collective and watch that video after this if you guys want something else to do today. It was hilarious. It was a really fun dialogue. But anyways, it's mostly places that I go to. They're places that I go to on a daily basis where I already have established some sort of relationship. And if it's some place I have not established a relationship, like my biggest one is spas. I need a good little massage. Let me go sit in a sauna. Like, I will go and I will actually spend money at these places before I solicit them for their business, because that's how you build these genuine connections. And Melody, your soap is amazing. I know there are a ton of gift shops and places, like go in and have these conversations. And if you don't want to get a million no's, and if you, let's say you reach out to 10 people via email or cold call, one person may be interested in you stopping by. But if you actually spend money and engage with 3 places that you visit on a daily and have normal conversation, I'm pretty sure at least 2 of those will probably say yes. How do I know? Because very rarely do I get told no. Very rarely do I get told no. It's more of analyzing and seeing if I have the capacity to take on said project. So being an introvert, there are definitely ways around. You don't have to be at all the vendor markets. You don't have to. And even with social media, I found ways to make it easier for me and to make it work. But I'm gonna be honest, it's the execution that is holding me back right now, because I have a lot of other things going on. So a lot of stuff I say, do as I say, not as I do. Because the amount of the chess game I am playing right now and getting this collective going, because you guys have only seen this much of what's happening. Like, you guys have not seen anything yet. So I'm not able to actually do everything right now. And I'm also talking about outsourcing, and I'm paying people to do other things, like bigger things right now. And so this allows me, once again, this is why I spend most of my time in the collective, because I'm not out here chasing new business from within social media, Facebook, things like that. I'm nurturing and building the relationships that I have. If you guys look in the collective, I posted my business number. Now, I said, don't call the number, but I have made a point and I blocked out time on my schedule. The next time is this Saturday. I think I have from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My goal is to call every single person in the collective. Every single person. So that's why I said save the number so you don't think I'm a bill collector. What about doing a catalog to show your clients? Yes, definitely. Yes, a catalog. That's something I have as well. Logan will touch more on that. And here's the thing, you can do a catalog, but I'll be honest, a lot of times it's not really necessary, especially if you have a website. It's just an extra thing that you have to do. Just something extra. But yes, you guys, that's one of the things where I would rather right now focus my time on the people who already believe in me. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful that there are enough people in here that I feel I'm not stressed with the fact that I'm not posting a lot on social media right now. I'm not too stressed. I know I need to do better? Yeah, I know. But I haven't even scratched the surface of calling the people that are here right now. So why pile more people on top, right? And we will in due time. And my goal is really here to build a community. And one of the things I'm actually realizing within the collective, and not only I noticed it, but Latoya realized it as well, is there's almost 400 people in there, but it's the same people posting all the time. And what I'm realizing, and I can see that people are in there, I think people are scared. People are scared. So take the time, introduce yourself to somebody else, somebody new. Find your new business bestie, because you guys, it's time for me to go. It's been an hour. I just keep laughing. I got work to do. I got places to go. I did not plan on to be on here this long, but this is good. I know I just cut abruptly. Do you guys have any questions before I get off? Do you have anything you want to share? Make sure you hop into the collective and watch the last video from last night. I need to post the link for Brian in there. I'm going to do that before I get up. So I'm going to get off of here. Before I get up, I'm going to post the form so that you guys are able to reach out to Brian and get your insurance taken care of, or even just get questions answered. Because like I said, just because you call, he's not pushy. He's not a pushy salesman. I'll actually put the link for, I'm one of the other many things, I'm working on a resource page. So you guys will actually have access to all of these resources. Can I get a grilled cheese sandwich, please? I need a grilled cheese sandwich. I need some energy. I'm actually headed to the office today. A lot of people, I actually do have an office. I've been in there a few times. I don't think you guys have really seen it. What about disclaimers when you have customers power burning your candles? That's part of your warning. It says on the bottom, like that's your warning stickers tell you don't burn candles. A lot of them say for more than a certain amount of time. Do not burn the candle for more than 4 hours at a time. Keep the wax bowl free of debris. That's what your warning sticker's for. The warning sticker usually has a lot of that information on it. And so that's one of the ways you can protect yourself. So awesome, you guys. I'm going to go make me and Daryl a grilled cheese sandwich. Get you guys this link. Stop in the collective, say hi. I know I haven't been as active, you guys, but please, this is a place for you guys that I've built for you guys to talk and engage with each other. And don't be afraid of, I said or did something wrong. We're in here to help and inspire and encourage each other. And so that's what I want to see. And so with that being said, I am going to get this stuff that I just promised you guys. And I'll see you guys in the collective, and love you guys. Peace. This thing always takes forever to end.